Hey everyone, I'm JJ here today to talk about the bowl games, what is good about them, what is not good about them, and kind of where things should go with bowl games. So, start off with good things about the bowl games. They give teams extra chances to practice, especially your playoff team gives you around 15 extra practices a year approximately. So, that can be good in developing your team. While it also helps you be able to, it's almost like a scrimmage game because you have so many players that could potentially opt to transfer, go to the NFL, not play their final game. So you have so much going on. It is not really a determiner of how good you are versus the other team, because you could get a team that went nearly undefeated, then you get a team that barely is bowl eligible, and that nearly bowl eligible team could beat that nearly undefeated team. So it really don't have a symbol of who's better than who. Is a good chance to get the guys, the young guys, the guys that are committed to coming back to your team, a chance to play for a position, to get better, to improve, and kind of a glimpse at what you have. Gives coaches a chance to also glimpse at what they got at as well, because now they can go to the transfer portal and be like, okay, we have kind of a lack of depth and skill probably at running back. We're just going to use that. Now I can go pick up a running back in the transfer portal. So you kind of get a picture of what can make your team better by seeing how your team performs with that other group. So for the teams that opted out, there was 2 teams that was bowl eligible, opted out of the bowl games because of coaching changes, injuries, etc. And then we know the one team because they wanted to be pitch a little fit. So with that being said, it makes the bowl season a lot more just not a great value in determining who is better than who again, because it's so many things going on there. And really, teams shouldn't be allowed to opt out of a bowl game if they're bowl eligible, because that kind of sets a precedent that other teams could do that, making it even more unnecessary to have these games to begin with. So it is all a matter of going and competing, getting better, trying out your guys, giving them some live game experience against another team, and getting them to hit somebody else and get that experience, just the speed of the game and the way it operates. Maybe they've studied a playbook, maybe they've gotten a little bit of time during the season, but maybe they haven't got as much time as they would get if they got to play in a bowl game. There was also a lot of teams that was not bowl eligible, that was like 5-7, like Florida State, some others, that got an offer to go to a bowl game, probably because some that was bowl eligible wasn't wanting to play, but they did get offered, they didn't go. That would have also been an opportunity for them as well. So therefore, there are some positives about the bowl games. It's good advertising also for those that sponsor a bowl, like GoDaddy.com, Cheez-It Bowl, etc. It's just good. It brings tourists to the city, wherever it's being held, whether that is Jacksonville, Seattle, somewhere in California, New York. It doesn't really matter. It brings people to your city. That's tax revenue. So it's good for that as well. So one of the biggest things that's a disadvantage is transfer portal and how it works in relation to the bowl game. So if you're a team playing around December 31st, January the 1st, you're going to have a disadvantage versus the other teams that either do not have a bowl game, picking up people in the transfer portal, versus people that do play at that period of time. Because you're focusing on the game at hand and not the other aspect of it. Or you're going to focus on the other aspect of it. Now you're going to lose, which again is not the worst thing ever, because you still got that experience. But everybody wants to win. Also, it's just not productive for the coaches, because the coaches could make it to a bowl game every single year, and they're still going to get fired eventually, if not sooner than later, like the LSU coach, because you're 7-5, 8-4, and or maybe even 9-3, but you didn't make the playoffs. So it is playoff or bust for a lot of especially the bigger teams, the bigger brands, is playoff or bust. So if you're a coach, you're not going to save your job by making it to the Pop-Tart Bowl. You're not saving your job at all, or any bowl really in existence that is not played in the playoffs. So with that being said, is there really a big value? And then if they do extend the playoffs to 16 teams or 24 teams especially, that would even devalue it even more, because pretty much everybody that is, 3-loss or better, if it's 16 teams, would be in, and you would even get 4-loss teams potentially in, or would, if it is a 24-team playoff. So at that point, it would just be people that used to be not even bowl eligible playing these bowl games, and that's even if they opted to play. And in the case this year, you had one team that was not penalized in any way and actually rewarded for opting out of their bowl game that they were offered. Two teams that opted out, but for better reasons than the other one, not just because of being a baby, but they got fined by their conference. And then there were teams that were 5-7 that did get offered a bowl game, even though they really wasn't, automatically qualified for one, and they opted not to play in it and to focus on the off season. So there's a priority to focus on the off season task and things going on if you do not make it to the playoffs, because the ultimate goal for every single team is the playoffs. So if you're not going there, what is the big value in the bowl games? Now, I will go back to a positive to end it, because I'm a fan, right, of the Georgia Bulldogs. That's my team. If they go to a bowl game, even if it's not the playoffs, I'm going to be disappointed because it's not the playoffs and we're not competing for a natty. But I would still enjoy to go and be able to catch a game, probably relatively cheap, being as a bowl game, especially some of them, and just get to see my team play for one last time, and before I have to wait all the way out until early September to see them play again. Yeah, they have the scrimmage against themselves, but before they have contact with another team is all the way out in September of the following year. And even if you play in a bowl game on New Year's Day, you still got 9 months until the next game. So it's a good opportunity for the fans to see, but even the fans, which some of those are boosters, don't like the fact that their team did not make it to the playoffs. Ask LSU. And going to opt to get rid of their coach, even sometimes mid-season, which we've seen definitely in this season. So it just makes it kind of where it just isn't worth having them to begin with. My opinion on that is I wouldn't mind seeing a 16-team playoff. I talked about it in another video where top 4 automatically qualified to get top 14 teams are automatically in, and then the number 15 and 16 would play the number 17 and 18 teams in kind of like a wild card round to see who goes. So we're getting the best 16 teams, no automatic qualifiers. Do away with the bowl games, and that would help. And then redo the transfer portal, which I don't know if they'll ever do that because of how it matches up with the end of the physical school year, semester, whatever, graduation. It probably, that part will never change, but there are ways to make things better, and I hope to see that in the near future, or at least in the future not too far away. Until next time, Peace out. Please leave your comments about what I have said in the comments, and also like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it.